What's up, my people? It's your girl, Yamina Lejean. Welcome to the Red Light Special Live Talk Show. You know, we be here talking about sex and relationship tips and hot topics and, what we're doing up in the quarantine and how we keeping it cute. And before we get into all of that, I got to bring in my co-host. We got the ghetto stiletto himself, Mr. Apollo City.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing out there on this good Wednesday, hump day, hump day?
Hump day, hump day. That's what we're supposed to be doing, right? Humping, humping. Ain't nothing wrong with a little hump. Ain't nothing wrong with a little
Just a
hump,
little hump, a little bump, and a little hump.
right? Do the brown. So how you feeling
Yes,
though, bro?
scrub the ground, do the
Scrub,
round.
scrub the ground. Like, back in the day, man, I know that we were kids when the high schoolers was doing all that do the brown crazy stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
them be wild. So when it was our turn to be wild, we was wild.
Wild.
I just remember going to like the parties and things like that. And even just a little high school party, just being nasty.
Just fucking it up. I know, right?
Yeah, just being nasty.
Just grown for no reason.
Bro, for no reason. Handstands, headstands, all of that nasty stuff. But it's cute. I like to keep it cute. You
Keep
sip
it
it on,
cute.
yeah. Just like you like my ponytail child. I got.
Oh, I love it. Come on, giving the golden gold, 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 gold.
Sometimes I gotta bring her out, honey. You know what I mean? Because like sometimes I gotta remind myself.
Nah, I'm loving it. I'm loving the ponytail. Loving the ponytail.
Love the ponytail. Yeah, I know Trina gonna be coming up in here now. She about to be coming soon. You got
All
any
right.
wine? You got any wine tonight, or you doing the? We still celebrating 420.
Oh yeah, girl. Today's what 421, 422, celebrating 423. Everything with a four in it is being celebrated.
Oh, I heard that. Man, those dispensary shops, there were lines like wrapped around corners at these dispensaries yesterday. It was crazy for 420.
Girl, all to get that $5 off of the weed. Yeah. All but $5.
All that.
It's like, child.
You supposed to do that the day before. Because $5, I'm rather wake in bed. You know what I mean? I'd rather wake up and be relaxed and have to wake up and sit in line and do all this other stuff.
Not waiting in line like it's IKEA.
Like it's IKEA, right? Trying to buy you a shelf.
Okay.
Trying to buy yourself a shelf. It's like buying a shelf on Christmas Day. Ain't nobody
exactly
that.
At all.
We had fun on 420, y'all. So Apollo and I shot a video yesterday, which is about to be really dope.
Really, really dope. Really, I'm excited. Dope.
We was working on 420. That's what we were working.
That's what we was doing.
So, things are like crazy right now. I know we're here at the Red Light Special, but we gotta also keep it real. Okay, Trina's coming on. She coming on. But we had a victory yesterday for George Floyd. Homie got his verdict was guilty on all charges. And we were happy about that, to see that. We haven't seen that
in a while. If really ever.
I'm trying to think, have we seen that? Like in our lifetime, for some police brutality and somebody not getting off? Have we seen that? I don't think we've seen that.
I don't think we really seen it like that.
I don't think we've seen it like that either. And you saw the video when they said guilty on everything, his face. Yeah. Like, I was like, you made that same face, but in a more like vindictive way when you had your knee on George's neck. So take your ass, give him the book. Now we gotta wait on the sentencing. That's the part. Now They saying guilty, but how long is the sentencing going to be? What's up with that?
I don't know. The system sometimes I don't be understanding. It's like the system they for the right people they try to play it out as long as they can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the certain right type of people, they try to play it out. So if there's any loopholes or anything that they can try to come up as they're extending that, if it was anybody else, it won't be no question. They'll throw the book at them immediately.
Right.
Like that one girl, that one lady, she got charged like the next day. That killed the boy, with the taser. Like, and that was whether that was an accident or not, on the premise of that being an accident versus what we saw for 9 minutes plus. That was very much intentional. It wasn't in the moment, oh, I didn't know, I grabbed the wrong whatever. It was an intentional, I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm doing it in your face and you ain't gonna do shit about it.
Right.
That's
the thing is, and then we have the new situation that happened right after George Floyd. George Floyd. Sorry, Floyd. Sorry, y'all. I got a little accent, so sometimes I gotta make sure my flow, you know what I mean, is on. But I hope I'm saying her name right. Ma'Khia Bryant, the 15-year-old.
Yeah, that happened. That happened like during the trial.
Right, and they said right after the verdict was announced, like less than an hour, the police shoot this 15-year-old, and there's videos where the police is saying Blue Lives Matter. So, and they said that she had a knife in her hand. Somebody was fighting in front of her home, and she called the police for help. And so they're going to shoot her 4 times in the chest. 15, 16, whatever. She is a minor. You know what I mean? So that's where the taser thing could have came in. There's something else, not 4 times in the chest. You tripping. You know what I mean? So the system is, everything. What I will say, like, if you're an activist, like, this is the time to be that. You know what I mean? This is the time to do it in your way. That don't mean you have to do it like how everybody else do. There might be an avenue that people didn't think about that So I feel like as Black people right now is definitely the time to, what's our purpose? What you standing up for? I mean, I know just walking out the door being Black our skin, that's already a protest. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's already a protest. So people who just want to, be like, look, I don't want, okay, I understand that because you already know we already have, is already a thing against us. So, but I do feel if you're a person who is strong, who's especially in the arts, as artists, we always reflect. Yes. You know what I mean? Like Nina Simone said, I always say that. So we always got to be an activist in some way, whether if it's educating someone, speaking up about something, sharing your perspective that will change other people's perspective so they understand, so it's, I think our girl, Trina is coming. So yeah, I feel like at this time, especially with like Black folks, like if you are an activist, this is the time to don't sleep. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, with George Floyd, homie's guilty. Okay, I can sit down and eat popcorn. No, this right now just shows that you always got to be on your toes, no matter what you do. Even if you just twerking and you want to put something that is your way of activism, there's nothing wrong with doing that. So let's bring in our girl. What's up, Trina?
Hey,
B.
girl.
Rose? Sparkle Saturday.
Well, girl, I figured I need to do some sparkle with all the shit that's going on in the world. Somebody need to I had to put a little sparkle in my life right now. And so this is what I did.
Red lip.
Yes, I did do a little sparkle and lips and let the titties hang.
Let the titties hang, girl.
And let the titties hang. I said titties will hang now.
I was always the type that did not like to wear a bra, but as I got older, my titties got a little bigger. They still perky, you know what I mean? But like,
right.
I still don't like to wear a bra. I just like to be, hang, girl.
It's okay. Let them hang. They're yours. I like let the titties hang. Let y'all see the real potential of these titties.
Okay.
The potential.
That part.
Okay, because you be having to put up. People don't know the real potential. I said, let y'all see these big old things hanging on out here.
Right? So we were just talking about.
I have to figure out a way to find some humor today because it's not a lot to laugh about, y'all. So
I know that's what we were just
I was
talking
gonna let
about.
these. I said, well, maybe I'll do some sequins and some extra titties. That'll be funny.
So you look like you ready for the show, girl. You just need your bourbon on the side, or you drink cognac or something with wine, or what you drinking.
Did you say I need a drink?
Oh, there we go. Cheers.
Cheers to my favorite people that I love to see every Wednesday.
Cheers. And we were just talking about 420. So we would say happy 4th related or happy, 420.
Yeah, I think that will now be the George Floyd 420 now. 420 and George Floyd Day.
Yeah. So, we were just talking about, what's been going on with, police brutality and with.
Well, I don't know. I think the police are trying to give us a message with these shootings that's happening in the last 24 hours of this verdict. So I don't know what message. I don't know if y'all paying attention, but in a lot of small rural areas, a lot of Black people are getting shot, and it's like, whoa, okay, well, so you shooting? I call you for help, and now you're gonna shoot me? Because I mean, like we got the verdict that we needed to get to have peace yesterday for George Floyd, right? Because they knew it was going. Any other verdict would have been an uproar for the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then not even 15 minutes later, a 15-year-old girl was killed in Ohio.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, she called the police, even if, like everyone said, like we never saw a warning shot. He never shot in the air. He never tried to shoot in a toe. You know, if you had to, he's 4 times. It's like, I want you to die. So I'm just a little alarmed now about what we're seeing happening. And then I heard, I don't know if it's true yet because I haven't seen the latest report of some young man in North Carolina that's been shot in the last 24 hours to 48 hours.
Oh, I think I saw that too.
Right.
For a warning, they pulled him over for a warrant or something like that. I don't have the story on that one yet, but these lynchings has been happening, since the beginning of, the United States of America, and even before that, you know what I mean? And so since we have technology, we are able to see it. And lynching now is not, before it was hanging on the tree and castrating and all this. Now it's the bullets, the police. We know what the police were originally created for was to, capture the running slaves, so enslaved Africans, the runaways. That was their job. And so this is what we're seeing, what they were created for. And so I just don't think at this time that we should be quiet about it on any platform. That if you're a Black person, you have a platform, no matter you talking about condoms or you talking about nature or whatever, we got to talk about these things. This has to be mentioned in some shape or form. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I will say is, a lot of people are coming together, for protesting. I know we had to stop Asian hate and all of that, but with the whole Black Lives Matter and LGBTQ, the Blacks, Spanish, and whites and Asian, everybody coming together for this. What I feel is I feel there's going to be more people that are going to be, as far as ethnicities, are going to be mixing together more. I think we're going to start seeing more biracial, even more now. You know what I'm saying? I already see that. So the question for today is interracial dating. Do we feel that, what is your experience with interracial dating? Do you feel like if you're not a person of color, do you feel that you have to date a person of color so you feel like you're contributing or whatever? Or are you a person of color and you just like to stay within your race or ethnicity? Because one race really is human beings. But, what is our experience with interracial dating? Do we feel like that's going to go up? Do we feel that's going to go down? How do we feel about that, especially with the protesting happening, COVID, people being quarantined together, people having to work together? How do we feel about that? So I think, did we lose the power? I'll start with you, Trina.
Well, I'm going to say I love who love me, right? So I've always been that type of person. It's never really been a color thing. It's about more of a feeling. I'm already married, but if I was to do it again, it would just basically be about who loves me. And I do that as well as with my friends, right? Because what I've had is in the Black experience, unfortunately, is like, I've had experiences with both sides. I think as you get mature, you get more grounded in yourself, because it's not all white people that don't like, that's not for Black people. It's not all racist. I'm all about people that love people that realize and respect that we all have a right to be here. We all have a value. I think it's really sad, and it's still a sad day in America that we as African Americans are not, we know we're not in the Constitution, and we have not rewritten it. Like we still abide by a Constitution that doesn't speak for all of the people of America. So I think that's what's still sad, that we're living by laws that was never really made. Like, we knew shit was wrong and bad. And so like technically now they're giving people or saying they apologize. But what does that do for the generations that have been brainwashed to think that they're better? You know what I mean? That they are more superior or they have more privilege to something. Like we all have some rights to the land here. We all were born free. And I wish that I wish and I dream of a world where people would respect that. You know what I mean? Like whether your sexuality, whatever, like people being too many people business for real. Like how you live in and how you give in is two totally different things. And I think people really be too caught up into, what they are not doing. Like what you ain't into ain't got nothing to do with that next person. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how I feel.
No, I feel you on that. I feel like, it's who you love, and I've dated outside of my race, culture, ethnicity. I have done that. What I do feel, especially being a Black person, if you're dating a white person or Asian person or someone like totally different, like I feel like when I'm dating a Latino, we still kind of have our if it's a Puerto Rican or Dominican or a Cuban, they Black too, but it's just cultural differences. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like when you're dating a white person, like they really have to be culturally sensitive. You know what I mean? To you, and they have to understand that what their privilege is. And I can't stand when people
think, yeah, when you date out of your race, we definitely should like know what the boundaries of what's fair and what's respectful and what you can do and what you can't do. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you can't say what somebody else might say in the house or just respect the Black experience. Like I think if you're gonna date outside your race, it's good to get to know that race. So you can respect their religions or whatever rituals that they have, that their customs, or I would say not rituals, but whatever customs they have, you should respect that.
Yeah, I agree. And that goes with all religion and all of that. I definitely feel that that's important. However, when it comes to Black people, there are people who have been for their culture or their religion who have been killed and mass murdered, but they're able to hide behind their skin color. You know what I mean? And they also have prejudices. There are other people of color that have a certain prejudice towards Black people in general because of how the media has portrayed us. So you are an Asian person, you dating a Black person, you know what I mean? It can't be like, okay, I'm with a Black person, we cool. No, like your community can also be very racist, prejudiced towards Black people too. And one thing you gotta understand, when you're dating a person outside your race, you're not just dating them. You're dating their family. So somebody in their family is going to be racist, okay? It's going to be the distant auntie or the grandmama or the cousin that they know.
But believe it or not, I think they're racist until they have an experience with you, right? Right? Because like sometimes with a white person has never had an experience with a Black person, they only have the experience that they may have had in a bad experience. But until they have their experience out of love and out of like, look, don't come touching my hair because you just think because you want to feel what it feel like, and or have questions. Like I think it's good to get to know what you're getting into. So if you're dating an Italian man, you should want to know what his family is like. So he should want to know what your family is like culturally, because you guys are going to have children, and those children shouldn't be deprived of either side of who they are, because they're going to need to know both, right?
And I think this is, I've never dated anybody. Sorry, my connection's been just started acting crazy out of nowhere. I've never dated anybody out of my race, but the only, I guess, resemblance for me is being gay with a person who's not out to their family. That's the only other like connection I can kind of make to where I can kind of understand having to go into a perspective. It's like, well, you're gay and now you got to tell your family that you're dating a guy. You know what I'm saying? So that whole perspective of like having to understand, well, this is the household I grew up and this wasn't accepted, or, you know, that's the only kind of closest thing I guess I can get to interracial dating, I guess you would say. But like you were saying, finding out about the family history, because, you know, even from their perspective, like you said, you need to know, you might be okay with Black people and, you know, whatever the case may be, but what is your family? Am I going to come over there and I'm going to be the elephant in the room or the butt of the joke on the sly, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, is great-great-grand going just out of nowhere and say some off the wall shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me know, understand how were you raised? What was the dialogue in your household? How did people, because it's not all like that. Some people be like, we was raised, we was cool, my family was cool, they got friends, you know what I'm saying? So there's all different perspectives when it comes to different nationalities. So kind of understanding, because it's not always just black and white, there's racism in all different types of cultures. So it could be an Asian person, or it could be a black.
Why you say that? Let me tell y'all about a funny story about why you saying that. So I had this one friend who was my roommate, and she was Filipino. And she tried to say she wasn't Filipino. She tried to say she was whatever, something exotic outside of Filipino. She was
Pacific Islander.
Honey, she had some old something sexier than that. Whatever it was at the time, she didn't.
Like Micronesian or something.
Whatever it was, Malaysian, Eurasian, Japanese, whatever.
Indonesian.
Yeah, she wanted to be exotic, right? But we went to Vegas for the trade show, like Magic. You remember the trade show they had for the clothes apparel? So we had Magic, and I had my other friend Holly. She modeled, and she tells us, well, we're gonna go to LA and we can stay at my aunt's house, honey. When we got there, her aunt saw that we was Black. We could not stay there. And that's when we found out she was Filipino. All this time she kept saying she was Filipino and Black. We was like,
Well, you know, Filipinos are like the Black folks of you know, Pacific Islander and Samoans, you know.
They are.
They are, and I have a lot of Filipino friends, and a lot of Filipino and Blacks be mixing, especially on the West Coast.
No, because a lot in the military too. That's a lot of them when they was in the military and they went over there and they all came back with a little
and they still do it.
I know a lot of those stories.
You got to remember, we came in a very Black people have suffered for years. We came at a time where Black people. That's why I would try to tell people when I do my show. I like Black people that like themselves, because we are dealing with a race and we've been turned against ourselves for so many years, and now we are a target. We are actually a target by the police. You know what I mean? So Black people are constantly at a different, you know, level of, I think when it comes to relationships, if you're going to date outside your race, know why you're doing it. Because a lot of people date for the wrong reasons. They date because they want to have pretty kids. Let's be honest about what people do to dating for good hair. They want their kids to model. They want to live through their kids. So they kind of do shit to make their kids have this different life that they think if I would have been mixed, I would have had a different life, or I would have had access. And that's been depicted for so long. Even in Hollywood today, they started to put Black people in movies now, but now you got to be in a clique to get in the movies. Right? So let's talk about that. You know, when Black people start really loving on each other the way we should, and we start unifying on a whole nother level. Because see, had we unified on Trayvon Martin when that boy got killed for them Skittles in that sweatshirt, had we still been having an uproar besides, we wouldn't have had a George Floyd. Right? But somewhere, somehow, you know, people, we march and we talk about how wrong it is, and we give to Black Lives Matter that ain't even Black lives. Like, we done heard this chick done spent money You get what I'm saying? Like
Right.
there's a lot going on. And these be the people, and it be us. It be us that get the opportunity to help us and that don't. Can we talk about the realness and why we are where we are?
We are here. We are where we see. We have okay. We as Black people have definitely been brainwashed. However, within our culture, even before slavery, when we had our own communities, we were already like, you know, competitive with each other in a way, because it was more like, what's your craft? You know, we could go into that's a whole nother.
But that was also saying that's also, and that you should be like that. You know why? Because it's levels in life. You don't want to keep messing with people who don't really want shit versus the people that do want something. So your hustle and your grind gonna be different versus the person that's sitting there saying, "Well, I'm gonna keep praying." Faith. That's why they put faith without works is dead in the Bible. That's why Jesus had to come so that we could understand how to understand the stories in the Bible. Right? Like Jesus is another parable in the story, just like in other Hebrew stories and other Muslim, other religions. Like people don't realize these stories came so people could pay attention, so that we could wake up.
Yeah.
Right? Because we all get opportunity. It's the choices that we make. A lot of us have been turned against each other. Yeah, I mean, you're right. But it came from standard in villages. Like, okay, you're going to learn something. You're going to learn a trait. Why don't we have Black men and Black women learning traits anymore? We need to learn electricians. We need to know how to build our own homes.
Yeah.
We don't know any of that anymore.
I definitely feel back in like our parents' time, you know, the 60s and the 50s and all of that. Like Black people were doing well because we had the segregation and Black people were working together.
And that's all we had.
That's all we had.
Yeah.
But they knew we were smart, but they didn't really think we was going to have a Black Wall Street. You know what I mean?
But when they did, that's why they did that commercial. I know you saw the commercial, how to sell to in 1958, how to sell to a Black person. Like they had a whole commercial where they've been studying us.
Yeah.
Because we had started surpassing them with money and building and architects, and like we are talented people. We were inventors and we still are. But think about all the Black inventors we don't know about that they don't tell us about. Like the person who designed the thing for the refrigerator to keep shit cold because they knew we had to keep meat cold. We got, you know, it
was a Black woman, right?
I want to say it was a woman. I'm not sure. I want to be wrong, but you know what? Next week we're gonna come back next Wednesday with some inventions by Black people. So we should know. We're gonna come back next week with inventions by Black people.
Okay,
that's gonna be our challenge for ourselves. But I know that we have because it's so many of them. That's why I get excited. But I don't want to be wrong and say something and people come back and be like, "Oh, you gave that out, right?" Because you know our critical people that we do, they come back and versus saying like instead of us saying, "Look, bitch, go do your research," because we're telling you some information.
Right.
You'll have somebody saying, "Oh, they didn't even know who they was talking about," because that's how critical we are. So that's what we're gonna do next week, y'all. We're gonna make sure we come back with some inventors, but just letting y'all know there were a lot of Black inventors, even with the ice box, with the let's talk about it. With the ice cream or cookie or something. I think we made the first cookie or some shit. Like we done did a lot of immaculate, amazing things in history that we just didn't get documented, or it did get documented, and that's why they beat us and didn't want us to read. So we'll never know what that whole cycle was from the what was it from the 60s or the 50s when you got beat, when you got caught reading, whatever that was. Before that, there was some stuff about us that we needed to know. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And they knew if we read them books and we saw ourselves in them books, we would have woke the hell up. I don't care how much of a slave we were. When we would have saw somebody that looked like us, we would have been like, well, who this?
Right.
But that's why they killed slaves for reading. That's why they didn't want us to read.
And that's why they made Jesus white. How dare a Black person be able to have all this power?
Well, you guys know with the
not the Black person bringing people from the dead and walking on water and turning it into wine. Not a Negro. No. No, y'all would never have that much power.
But we were the ones feeding their babies. That's why I had to have these titties hanging out tonight, because we had to feed their babies. We done fed generations with these breast of ours.
That's why somebody said every white person got some Black in them. because of that, right?
Yeah.
Because of that, right? Good
Yeah.
old nutrients.
As well as when they got sick, we knew which herbs to go get out the field to make you feel better. Because they called us witch doctors. But we was
Right.
witch, we understood how to take care of ourselves because we didn't have medicine. But we knew God talked to us, just like Harriet Tubman knew how to get across land without a map, baby.
Right.
We are some chosen people. We don't choose us, is why we're in such a battle. And I'm looking in the camera saying that when we choose us, we're going to get so powerful. We're going to be so powerful when we choose us, when we stop finding a reason to think that you're going to stop my blessing. Can't none of us stop each other's blessings. If anything, we're going to enhance it.
Exactly. And we are going to enhance it. And first, we always enhance it. And the interesting part is like, when you look at biblical times and then after that, and you look at like the Roman time, like with the European queens and Queen Elizabeth and all of that, like, the Moors are the ones that helped the Europeans get out the Dark Ages. And
talk about it,
we
boo.
talk about Spain, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, okay? When they became king and queen, they swiped all the Moors teaching, all the paintings, and they didn't want to see none
Talk
of
about it, boo. Talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's why Queen Elizabeth is mad. Queen Elizabeth is mad because if you look back at her history, if you look back at the Queen's history, there was a Black queen in England.
Yes.
Okay. And so they don't want to, because of who we are and whom's we are, there's always a power struggle, because if we ever knew who we were, we would lead a nation of great people. But they divide and conquer us. And until, like I said, I speak from truth. When we love each other the way everyone else does, the way they steal our ideas, the way they steal our creativity, the way they steal our looks and make it seem magical, and we look like it and be like, oh my God, my lips, my eyes, my hair kinky, versus looking at how beautiful we're naturally made. And if you want to change up sometime, that's why they gave us extensions. You can change up, but just remember who you are under all that shit.
Yes, exactly. All of that it's important. And I see you over there, Apollo, you got your hair, your curly, your vibe going.
Wait, first of all, he got on his look at his shirt.
He got his Egyptian popping.
Representing, gotta just throw it out there because that's who we are at the end of the day, even though they try to chop our noses off there too. You know what? That was the first Black people to get plastic surgery was them damn statues. Oh, shit, what was that? Yeah, those were the first Black people to get a nose job, girl. No, I got nervous. My Citizen app went off, girl. Y'all got the Citizen app. Hey, all y'all out there. See, I didn't used to have it, but if y'all don't have the Citizen app, y'all should get it and let you know what's going on in your areas in real time. So, just to protect yourself, you might not want to walk outside because somebody just got stabbed like they just did on like 3rd Avenue and something right up there. So,
situation.
Nah, but it's a good app. So you just kind of know, what to look out for. These days it's getting crazy. The Citizen app.
Right.
The Citizen app.
Listen, let me tell you something. That's where you learn how to be safe. I agree. Because if I know a nigga got stabbed on 3rd, I know I ain't going down 3rd.
Right.
I ain't going down 3rd. And he's at large and they're looking. Oh no, girl. I'm gonna say I'm gonna wait an hour or two to go get them blunts, baby. So just a little thing out there so y'all can keep up, protected, and it's real time. People be posting, keeping up, like, hey, there's something going on right here. Be careful. Like, so yeah, there's something, protect everybody. Like I say, it's getting crazy because everything that's going on, people are upset.
Right.
So they, they out there puring people. So, we just gotta be, cute. But yeah. But like I was saying, like you said, as far as just like us coming together, what Trina was saying, and loving ourselves the way we love, because all it is things that we already do gets taken, regurgitated, basically rebuilt, brand, and regurgitated back to us. So we're always loving on ourselves, but we don't realize that.
Right.
We're always fawning over all these things. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she got this done, her ass done, her lips done. Now she's a boss. She's a this and a that. And it's like, but all your beautiful Black queens were born with that. You already have it. You're just be regurgitated stuff that you already know. But when you're used to something, you don't realize, like I said, the magic, like she says, we don't realize how magical we are because we are the magic. So it's hard for us to see it.
And that part, and let's go back to the realness. Because when I think about a body, I look at Yamina and I say that's a built body. That's a real body. That's the definition of a body. No, but no, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it real. Let's talk about, because see, I'm not mad that you can buy a body. But when you respect what God gives you and you work on building whatever you have and owning it and saying that whatever level I'm at, whatever curves I have, whatever I'm at, I appreciate it. If I want to get smaller, I can get that. If I want to get bigger, I'm gonna stay there. But I'm gonna be proud of who I am, and I'm gonna be beautiful in my spirit. There's so many beautiful big women in the world, right? Because they're powerful within themselves and they feel good in their bigness. They're not like, oh, I'm trying to get this. They like, look, bitch, I like to eat, and I might gain a pound or two. Now, like I say, I like to eat too. That's why my food go to my breasts. I already know. I be trying to go to my booty, but it won't go. It's like breasts and right here in my head, on my side of my waist. But that's okay, because you got to learn your levels. Like I tell people, I've been fat before. I realized I can't get too fat because I'm short. My ass looking like a linebacker from the back, like I'm about to tackle your ass. And I don't want to look like that from the back when I get too big. So I got a certain frame size that I need to stay in my petite frame. But if you love yourself, no matter whether you're big or small, you love other people. It's these unloving motherfuckers that I'm tired of. We have to stop dealing with people that say they love themselves but don't show up themselves. Nigga, let me tell you something. I'm allergic to being broke. Can we talk about that shit? Can I get a toast to that shit? I get the motherfucking hives when my bank account ain't selling a certain motherfucking level. Okay?
Yes. I need some thou wows. You know, the thou wows need to be popping.
I need to know if I need to go on a trip, I'm available.
That part.
You know, one thing
I work too motherfucking hard to just pay bills and buy meals. That is not my life.
And see, here's the thing: what people don't understand when they say, you know, money is the root of all evil. No, it's the person. And then when we go back to our people, you know, Mansa Musa is still the richest man. And what I wanted to say is, like, with Black people, we were talking about culture and Black and African, you know, as Black people, I would like for us, because I feel like as Black people, I feel it's really important to know Egyptian history, culture, and all, and the pyramids and how important that was, and the people that saw. It's important to know everything, because a lot of us are coming from West Africa.
Something. They gotta stop Googling and Wikipedia, and motherfuckers need to start reading. Period.
But see, the media has made it look like West Africa would, like, come on, throw it up.
But no, Yamina, we cannot make excuses for the media no more. We have been past.
No, not no more. I'm just saying,
because I'm gonna say we've been past those little babies with them damn white, with their bellies out and the damn drawers and the commercials late night at 2:00 in the morning.
Starving in Africa.
Yeah, you remember them commercials 2:00 in the morning?
Yes.
The babies coming on looking like they ain't had no food, and the goats and the chickens.
And then like what?
And then they messed it up having Cleopatra being Elizabeth Taylor.
No. Let me tell you something. You can be living like a king or queen over there right about now in Africa. And that's what they really don't want you to know. And not only in Africa, Bali, there's so many other fly places that we as people, fuck Americans, but as people, because I want to be who want me. That's what I want to be. That's how I'm starting to be living, how I'm giving. Like, I'm like, I want to be who want me. Like, I don't know if I don't feel safe now. I can't call the police because them niggas might shoot me. Like, that's how I'm feeling right now. Like, y'all niggas need more training on dismantling or what is it, escalating or de-escalating a situation. Y'all need way more training than to walk on the beats right now talking in the neighborhoods, because I'm scared. If a police try to pull me over, I'm gonna drive Yo, I'm gonna be like Madea on a high speed chase, bitches. I'm gonna call y'all on live like, yo, them motherfuckers trying to pull me over, but I ain't stopping. I ran a red light. I was wrong, but I'm scared. I'm telling you,
Right.
that's how I feel. Like I'm not stopping for the police. I'm not stopping no more. Like y'all got me at the point where, nah, y'all got to show and prove that y'all on my side again. My daddy was a police. I ride with my daddy card in my thing showing that my daddy was a police, right? But that don't mean I'm gonna get to my card to show a nigga before you know what I mean? Like that part.
Yeah.
Because the little girl just called because she was being attacked and now she dead. I couldn't even imagine what that's like as a mother right now, waking up the next day. That's why when you was like, I mean, what you want to talk about? I was like, girl, I'm gonna have to wear black, something shiny. And I meant to put on a bra, but I was like, you know what? Maybe if the titties jiggle, I have something to laugh about. Because I have been wanting to cry all day, y'all. This is just fucked up. We had a war and we don't even know why. Like we just tried to survive like we just tried to survive COVID, niggas, like for real. And I was like, okay, we're gonna get on the red light district. We want to be sexy and talk about, but I'm in fear. As much sex as I want to talk about and much sex as I want to do.
I want to do a lot of it.
I know. Me too.
I'm a Scorpio, so you know, I
look.
I have a that
the church has said what they want to do, and you know what you got to do, because when you want to do what you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you heard that from Big Sister Noom Tam Sassy.
Nope. Noom Tam Sassy? Girl. We have some comments over here. Y'all trip me out. Oh, Deechlyn popped in today. She waved. What's up, Deechlyn?
What's up?
What's up, boo?
What up,
boo? You know what we do on Wednesday? We get hump.
Hey, and then Tyrone. What's good, Tyrone? Thanks for tuning in, y'all. So, yeah, you know, I appreciate our audience that be coming in. People be coming in and out and coming in and out. You know, we were talking about interracial dating today, and it's important because, you know, all these things have been happening with Black people. And, you know, Black people, Black culture is American culture. Did we want to do jazz, blues, style? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so at this time, I know there are people who are not Black, especially white, specifically white, who may feel like they want to date. You know, there's white people who've been dating Black people, but there's probably white people now who's like, you know what? I'm gonna date a Black girl, or I'm gonna date a Black guy. You know, there's some people who are now trying to hip to that. So I'm interested to see, like, in the next 5 years.
Oh, wait a minute. They've been hip to that, baby. Wait a minute. Let me just be clear, Yamina.
They've been doing it. They've been doing it.
I was going to say, let me just be
real
clear.
More. I'm just saying
they're more open. They're more open about it. They can be public about it now. Like, it's not so bad.
I think they're more open because we're at a time where it's not about race. It's about how you make me feel. Like, especially when you're dealing with people now that's like in a whole, like, I date what makes me, I date what I like. Yeah. So it ain't about color no more.
Now I date what I like. It's not even, it's becoming even just that now. It's like, shoot, color, I'm just trying to get the sex right. I'm trying to date. Like, you know,
talk about it. Right, the emotion right, the mind right, you know, all that got to be right. Because if that ain't right in general, it don't matter what color you are.
Exactly.
If you're not right emotionally,
that's the period.
Right with yourself, if you have not dealt with your own demons, because everybody have them, if you're not taking an accountability of your actions, it doesn't even matter the color of your skin, just as a human being. You know, if you're dating, if you're in your late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you know, at that point, accountability, right now, we're talking about accountability for, you know, justice. When a cop kills somebody and it was not called for, where's our justice? So accountability is what we need as a whole. We need accountability in the justice system. We need more accountability in relationships with people. You know, take accountability of your actions. So there are going to be people now who are like, man, I probably have some prejudiced friends. So instead of me now looking like a racist, let me go and date a black person. You know that's happening more like right now. I mean, it's already been happening, but with everything going on, it's a new wave. It's a new wave of people who are going to be like, oh, let me date a black person. It's supposed to be White Boy Summer. What's his name?
Oh yeah,
Tom Hanks.
Chet Hanks.
Chad Hanks.
Okay.
Now,
So
first of all, let's just be real clear.
Cute. I ain't even gonna lie. Chet's cute. And I'm not.
Let me be clear before we get into Chad, because I saw who he was. I said, let me tell you something. He wants some of this fever. He wants some of this flavor.
He did a pass at Lizzo the other day.
He got a black baby though. He already got a black baby.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. He was just letting y'all know from another perspective that like they coming back and popping like John B. He wasn't meaning interracial. See, this is what we can have fun. See, that's what. Let's talk about that part, right?
But he also had something that came out where his girlfriend said he called her like some ignorant black something.
Let me tell you something, because that's still the part of it. That's still part of who he is, and that's what she dated, right?
That's a part of the interracial dating.
That's why you said you got to have those kind of conversations of what's not going to be acceptable and what's acceptable. And a lot of times they don't do that, because in her mind, she was thinking, I got Tom Hanks' son. I ain't going to say nothing. But
think that way one time, if that was their action, for me, it's a wrap.
But that's why she was supposed to have that conversation off top. Right? And before you even have kids with somebody. But like I said, let's think about who this baby mama is. We don't know her. Hopefully she wasn't with him because it was Tom Hanks' son. But when I look at the pictures of her and I look at the kid, they don't look like they was really to get, you know what I mean? It looked like it was a night of fun and we popped off and I knew what I was getting. I was hoping I could get a rent paid in LA. Period.
But it's really more so a card for him so he could say, I got a black baby. You know,
but that's now, because we would have never knew that until it popped out.
True.
And people was trying to call him racist. And he was like, y'all late. I've been already in the vanillas. I mean, in the chocolate wafers, in the chocolate chips.
I mean, he's a cute white boy. He's not ugly. He is cute. But
listen, I think he met somebody he liked and he just went with it because he was at a younger time, and that was that generation where they're not really looking at color. They look at who they like. Period. It is like, I don't care how much money. That's just like Ashley Simpson that married Diana Ronson's son. Like, that's a whole country. There was a whole different type of lifestyle. She married, what's the name, wrong?
Yeah. Right.
So I think it's like when you get a certain level of access, like it doesn't matter what kind of money it doesn't matter your color, it's the access you have. Like, because you're going to the same kind of schools, you guys at the same functions. It makes more sense that, and we aesthetically like each other. Mm-hmm. I have friends that have dated white guys, and the myth is not true about they not packing like black guys, because some of my friends say they got it going on.
I mean, there's some white boys who be.
So let me let you girls know from my friends, not from me personally, but I done had friends that went outside and they said, let me tell you something. Don't believe the hype. Them boys know what they doing.
They don't know. There's some white boys.
I'm telling you. Let me tell you. I ain't heard it from me, but I'm gonna tell you. That's what I heard. So
yeah,
my friend Trina dated one. She dated a white boy for years, and she definitely say she was very happy. She never had a problem.
I have dated a couple white boys, and in the sex up department, I did not have a problem. Let's just say that.
Okay, so we got it right here in the red light district from.
But that was cool. Like one of the white boys was like a white boy that grew up around like black folks and Spanish people, so it was like I felt. I'm not saying I was dating a black guy, but I'm just saying, like, culturally, he was already in the culture.
In the mix. He was already in the mix. It wasn't like he didn't like Wu-Tang or...
No.
Right.
But I've also dated a white boy that was like a white boy. Like, just like straight, like, skateboard, skiing, things that we associate with white boys. You know what I mean? Like, what he wore and what he listened to, he was a white boy. So I have had
let's say this, but it's also a cultural experience that you need to have, because you get to see things and explore things and learn things that you probably would have never done had you not dated that person. So I always say be open, because you never know what you might actually like. Like
Yeah.
first of all, I'm an ultimate foodie, right? I can eat Polish food. I can eat German food.
Mhm.
I can eat Thai food. I can pretty much eat any food that smells delicious. If it stinks, I don't want it. If it smells funny or funky, I don't eat it. But if it smells savory or tempting or something familiar or spicy, I'm like, oh, let me taste a little bit. And if I taste it, that should taste good. I don't give a fuck where it's from. I'm gonna eat it.
You eat it. Well, I will say, from dating white boys, I have dated a couple white boys. What I will say that they all have in common with Black women is it's a fetish. So when Black girls date white boys, it's really a fetish. A lot of them will not admit that. I mean, unless the ones who are culturally sensitive and been around Black folks.
Especially in the gay world, especially.
Yeah, it's a fetish. And so, like, if you are going to date outside your race, especially when you're dating a white person, just make sure that you are not a fetish for them. Because it has been, I have experienced that, and white guys have told me, like, I'm attracted to you because the way you shape and the way you braid your hair, the way your hair was, is like, oh, like I want to try that. That's what they told me. And I looked at them like, you really just told me that shit. Like, because my hair was in a mohawk, like that made you want to, and I was Black, it was like, oh, I want to try that. And when they told me that, it was like, I was like, you really just say that to me? And he didn't even know. He didn't even think nothing of it. So I'm just saying, like, if you are dating somebody outside your race, you just make sure you are not a fucking fetish, okay? Ask them the right questions.
Right.
Why are they dating you and for what? And those things are very important because I know I am a fetish for many, okay? For the white, the Black, the brown, the yellow, the green, the purple, okay? Because I got a fat ass, I got a cute face, and I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I know people like that dominant. You know, I have been a fetish. Okay, my feet are cute.
Yes.
So I know what it's like to be a fetish. So if you date interracial, just make sure it ain't a fetish. It's an appreciation.
Yeah.
You heard that on the Red Light District. Don't be a fetish.
Live, y'all. You have heard
Don't be a fetish.
And if you, it depends on how old you are. You know, if you were 20, 22, and you see somebody trying to, you know, be a fetish with you, you know, you have a choice. Either not to deal with them or get with shoes or bags or whatever the fuck you want to get at that point. Because if you are a fetish to somebody, I feel like you don't have the time to give them all this extra stuff if you are a fetish. If you're going to deal with them, you know you are a fetish, get your money, get your purse, get your shoes, get the information that you need, because they only dealing with you because you are a fetish for them. Eve has, you know, and fetish has been a thing for Black women. Hot and tot. Sarah Barner, when they put her in the museum with the circus, with the you know, in a fucking zoo. You know, because of her butt. How many times that white men have told me, like, I like your butt. You know, I know I have a nice butt, but when they say it's different. When Black men say it, you know, like, you know, it's a Black man thing. But when other people say it, you know, it's like, man, I want to try that. So trust and believe, I have been in those kind of situations. So just make sure you ain't a fucking fetish. That's all I gotta say. And if you are a fetish and you want to deal with that, just make sure you can differentiate the two. And if you are going to deal with that, what are you gonna get out of it? I know that might sound crazy to certain people, but if a white person is using you because they fetish and they want to try the pum out and see what the Black juice is like, the brown juice is like, just make sure that you know what it is. And if you're going to deal with it, what you're going to get out of it. That's just my opinion.
Well, it sounds like that's how they got the OnlyFans page started over here. I heard that's the new wave to go. I'm about to start me one. I'm going to tell y'all my name next week.
I'm just saying, just recognize. Don't be dumb. You know,
So
just
I ain't playing with y'all because I'm leveling up. I told you I itch when I start switching about broke. So they said they popping over there at OnlyFans. I'm about to have a hot name. I ain't gonna tell y'all right now because somebody might steal it. I gotta trademark it first. But I'm about to go on up there next week. That's why I'm starting with my sequence and having my titties hanging. I'm trying to get the flow of things.
you feel like we gonna at least get paid for it. Shit.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I said. That's why I said I got my titties hanging out so I can get the flow of things.
And if that's what you want to do, that's what I don't have no problem with that. You know what I mean? So
listen, I didn't give a damn if you did. When I'm sitting back on my yacht, you can have a problem all you want to. I'm on a yacht.
I'm on a yacht. So don't let motherfuckers use you because they want some melanin. Okay? If a motherfucker's trying to use you, and if you are a person who be like, okay,
they said they like all kind of stuff on their OnlyFans. I'm about to go up there and do something with eyelashes and
eyelashes, okay?
Look, lashes and locks.
Lashes and locks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, get your check. Get your reparation.
That's why I had to get my hair done. So y'all wouldn't know me, but I'm gonna tell y'all my secret now. That's my secret. I'm gonna be lashes. Locks.
Okay, and I'm gonna be a blonde.
What can you do with my lashes and what can you do with my locks?
I'm gonna be the blonde. You know, because have fun. Y'all a trip. Well, y'all, you know, we're coming to an end. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We was talking about interracial dating. We had to talk about George Floyd, our victory today. But our victory didn't last that long because Ma'Khia Bryant and other people, and is it Adam Toledo before that? You know, we gotta definitely
we gotta have a talk with somebody. We gotta get in touch with Kamala. We need to sit down with Biden and tell him
Kamala Harris.
No, I'd call her what I called her.
Okay. I can't with it. All right, well, you know what it is. Wednesday, every Wednesday, you know where you can come. Red Light Special Live. Thank you to the ones that tune in. For the new people coming, we're here every Wednesday, 6 to 9, which means 6 o'clock Cali time, Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock New York East Coast time. And we over here talking about hot topics, what's going on in the world, sex, love, relationships. And today's topic was interracial dating. All right.
Yes.
Comment if you want to say whatever you want to say. Put it in the comment. Just make sure it's respectful because I will delete it. And let me put up. Here we go. You can follow our girl Trina. Where we at? Trina at Trina Be Real.
And if nobody told you they love you today, let me be the first one to do it because we love you for real right here every Wednesday on the Red Light Special.
Yes, and then we got Mr. Apollo Sadiq, also aka Mr. Devil Stiletto. You can follow him there. Woo, 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 woo is right there. And then for me, you can follow me, visit the website. You can see all the episodes that we have on YouTube. You can look at it on Facebook. We're here every Wednesday. So thank you guys so much tuning in to the Red Light Special live talk show. We will see you next week. Ciao.
Bye, y'all.
Ciao.
Ciao. Ding, ding, ding. Bye, y'all. Thank you.